Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. What is up, party people? This is the Ball Knowers Pod. With me, I have Jacob Aller. My name is Zach. We just have a twosome as of right now. We're missing our third Ball Knower, Justin, so it'll just be us two for this evening. And we are here to go over, was it week 10 of the NFL? Last time we were here, we touched on that beautiful Thursday night football game and kind of previewed what was to come for this week. And we are here now to definitely kind of recap the games for you, get into stuff that maybe, not everyone can see all of the games or check all the scores. So that's what we're here for. How you doing, Dollar?
Good. Packers had a bye, so no pressure Sunday. Got to just sit back, watch some games, stress free. Yeah, it's a good time. Good Sunday.
No, that is always good. Yeah, Packers were on a bye, as were the Raiders, Browns, and Seahawks, for those also wondering. Yeah, we saw some good games, throughout, and there was a couple, obviously, some trash ones that we won't really get into too much. There were some locks of the centuries that may or may not have hit. But yeah, so we'll go in and get into it. I'll kind of run through the games. I just have some quick notes, over the morning games. We can kind of talk about it if that's cool with you.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So yeah, week 11 on Sunday or week 10, excuse me, on Sunday starts off in Germany. Usually those Germany or London games are always pretty bad, and this one was no different. The 2-7 Giants visited the 2-7 Panthers. I feel bad that Germany was forced to watch this game. It was terrible. Ironically, I was actually up early and caught a lot of this game. Danny Dimes had a lot of missed throws, but Chuba Hubbard for the Panthers just signed that. He just re-signed, got a nice deal, ran for over 150 yards, and the Panthers won in overtime in Germany. So not only did Goodell give us this trash game, he said, nope, you get free football watching even more of these trash teams. There was a fumble in the first play in overtime by the Giants rookie running back to give the Panthers an easy chip shot field goal to win. Panthers take it in overtime 20-17. Moving on to Joller's lock of the century. As we touched on that last episode, Patriots head into Soldier Field. Battle of some rookie quarterbacks. Obviously, Drake May and Caleb Williams. Drake May didn't look that good. Caleb Williams didn't look that good either. Drake May barely outplays Caleb Williams. It does enough to coast by for the win. Final score is 19-3 on behalf of the Patriots getting the win. There was only one touchdown in this game. The rest were all field goals. The Bears have not scored a touchdown now in over 2.5 games, if I'm not mistaken. And the fans were shouting fire Matt Eberflus throughout the entire game. So that's always good to see. The first place Bills had to take on my Colts. Bills won by 10. 30-20 was the final score. It definitely didn't look like that. Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback for the Colts for the remainder of the season, which is a weird decision despite him throwing 3 interceptions in this game. His first pass of the game actually was a pick six, so that's even more exciting to see. But Bills handled this one pretty good. Josh Allen tried to give this one away. He had 2 interceptions himself, but he still throws for almost 300, and the score doesn't really do it justice. Colts scored a garbage touchdown late. They were down 30-13 at the time, so they only lost by 10, but yeah, not that great. Next game, we have my Bo Nix Broncos going into Arrowhead. This is the one I picked Denver to win, and they led the entire game until about 6 minutes left in the game. Patrick Mahomes throws a touchdown, so all the Broncos needed to do was drive down, get in field goal range. They did. 35-yard field goal and have the chance to win. And what happens? Fucking gets blocked. There's been 4 blocked field goals all season. Of course, it comes in this fucking game. But Chiefs skate by again and get another win to stay undefeated, 16-14. It was definitely a defensive battle for both these in that game. Another division matchup besides the Broncos and Chiefs was the Falcons and the Saints. This is one that surprised, I think, majority of people, or definitely us three. We all picked Atlanta. We think Atlanta was kind of rolling throughout this whole season. I know you kind of mentioned on the side, or you texted us like Atlanta might be frauds. I'm not sure. I mean, this was a division game, so it's kind of anyone's game. Kirk Cousins still going off. I mean, he threw for over 300 yards again. No touchdowns. He did throw one interception. But neither team scored in the fourth quarter, actually. Saints take this one 20-17. The division game. Saints, I don't think they have a playoff chance. It was just more probably for bragging rights. But yeah, Saints get this one 20-17 thanks to Valdez-Scantling. A sneaky 3 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that was pretty surprising to see. And another good NFC matchup is Christian McCaffrey's first game in a Niners uniform since the Super Bowl. They go into Tampa Bay to face off on Baker Mayfield. This game actually between Baker and Brock Purdy, this game actually had 0 interceptions, which was kind of surprising given the defenses and given the quarterbacks. But they did have 3 missed field goals by the Niners kicker, Jake Moody. Was a defensive battle throughout this whole game. Enrique Purcell gets his first touchdown as the Niners walk it off 23-20. And then the penultimate game of the morning, I think we pegged this one as one of the top games to watch. You know, we kind of voted it the Steelers-Commanders game. Russell Wilson looking to go 3-0 since being named a starter, and a really obviously his first actual challenge. This was definitely a good one. There was 3 or 4 lead changes in this game. Jaden Daniels looked good. Russell Wilson just outplayed him. The game went back and forth. Yeah, so 3 or 4 lead changes. Russell Wilson was actually really efficient. He threw under 200 yards, but had 3 touchdowns. The last touchdown was a dime to Mike Williams, who just came over from the Jets into the corner of the end zone. Commanders actually had a chance to get the ball back and try to get a field goal, but Russell Wilson used a hard count and got the rookie nose tackle to jump off sides. Steelers take a big one in Washington, 28-27. And the final game of the morning, kind of a trash one. Originally, I picked Jacksonville. Vikings played Jacksonville, but then Trevor Lawrence was taken out for Mac Jones, or Trevor Lawrence was ruled out before the game for Mac Jones to get his first start in a Jags uniform. This game was bad. If you showed me these stats from 2021 or 2022, I'd believe you. Sam Darnold had 240 yards, 3 picks, and Mac Jones had 2 picks himself. There was only 1 touchdown in this game, and it wasn't even a passing touchdown, which sounds about right for Sam Darnold and Mac Jones. Vikings win by kicking 4 field goals to win 12-7 in a trash game. It was fun.
Tough scene.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught any. We'll start, I guess, kind of knock this one off. That Germany one, I mean, trash game. Obviously, I always throw the Europe games pretty bad. I mean, this game means nothing for any of those teams. That's why I wasn't really. I was up. I only watched it because I was up. If I didn't, I wouldn't force myself to wake up to watch this game. Nor would I think anyone should.
It was a convenience factor. You just happened to be awake, and it just happened to be going on the other side of the world. I didn't get up to watch the game. I did see very early on Twitter the outrageous pass, I guess you could say pass attempt to Malik Neighbors that was 15 feet over his head. It was like, see what Danny Dimes can do with a clean pocket in Germany. And I was like, oh, did he make a good play? And he has no pressure and just absolutely airmails him into the flat. How he airmailed him that bad, I don't know, but it was really bad. And I watched the highlights later, and if Deshaun Watson's contract is the worst of all time, Danny Dimes' contract has to be number 2. He is so bad. He is so bad. It's unimaginable. Like watching this, I'm like, I hate my life to the nth degree if I was a Giants fan. I mean, they're going to move on from him after this year. I think that's like the consensus I'm seeing. But
yeah, I saw that too.
It's miserable.
The coach made a comment like, "Oh, we're evaluating." You know, they kind of make it all skeptic or whatever. I know a couple was a couple games ago, a week ago, when he got pulled in like the fourth quarter. I believe it was against the Eagles. You could obviously quote me if I'm wrong. And he like made like a little bitch boy comedy about it. He's like, "Well, I didn't know I was getting pulled. Like, I'm there to play." Like, bro, you're down like 28. Like, let the freaking whoever it is, Drew Lock. I don't know who's the
Yeah,
backup.
Brian
Uh,
Dable's face on the sideline just looks just like numb. Like I feel nothing. I fear nothing. Let the ocean take me. He's just like, I've seen this 100 times before. It's never going to get better. I'm probably getting fired. So is he. It's just, it's impressive to me that the Giants have been so bad for like the better part of a decade now. That they made the playoffs a few years ago with Saquon, but they are just abysmal and they can't get
and that was
better.
how he got his
You
contract,
guys need to
right?
talk.
Just because of that.
Yeah, I mean the defense played good. The defense was playing well that year. He played competently, but Saquon had his first healthy year in what felt like forever and carried him to the playoffs. But it's just amazing, just like the complete lack of development and just he's made $100 million and he's just dreadful. It's insane. But yeah, Giants are poverty. Um, yeah, tough scene. Feel bad for the Germans.
It's tough. That's tough. Yeah, it was bad. And then because obviously we all picked the Giants, and then they get the ball in overtime. And it was funny because I was at my parents, and I saw like it was gonna go to overtime. I was like, man, this trash game. I have to watch more of it. And my dad was in the other room. 5 minutes later, he walks in. He sees it go in overtime. He's like, dude, we have to watch this trash game even more. I was like, yeah, fucking funny, dude. Like he just knew, like it just sucks. But yeah, I mean, Panthers win. I mean, you know what's crazy? If you would have said, and again, we'll get into that in the Jets game obviously a little bit later. But if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that the Panthers and the Jets would have the same record at week 10, or I guess going into week 11, I would tell you go fuck yourself.
Yeah, be out of your mind. Hey, Panthers on a win streak. They've won 2 in a row now. So
Damn.
right in the hot hand. Don't sleep on them. I don't know if Panthers fans should be annoyed that there's signs of life or you're hurting your draft stock. I think the worst thing could be where they last minute decide to keep Bryce and then just it all falls apart again next season.
Well,
Which
well, Justin made that comment, right? The winner of this game is the loser because now the Giants own the first, I think, pick right now.
Yeah, with that loss, I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So, yeah, tough scene for the Germans to watch. Hopefully, they get a good one. You know, that means something. But, whatever. Those games have to be played out somewhere, and rather than be played out there at 6:30 in the morning, then don't waste a freaking Sunday night football game or Thursday night on that one. I don't know. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
This next one though, man, your lock of the century, never a doubt. Never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
Dude. Drake May, man. I mean, battle of rookie quarterbacks. You know, it's neither of them have actually performed exceptionally well at any game whatsoever. They kind of skate by each game. I feel like. Obviously, Drake May was out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. Yeah, Drake May was out for a couple weeks, but I mean, does enough to get the win. You know, throws for 184 yards, still has a touchdown. But out, still has to score against a tough Bears defense, and Bears are poverty. Eberflus has got to be done.
But yeah, he's definitely done. Man, I watched a lot of this game. I intended to watch a lot of this game, and it's easy to dump on Caleb, but I really can't. He was sacked a million times. I saw a crazy stat. I already forgot what it was. I should have wrote it down. I think through a 2 or 3 week stretch, he has like the most sacks of any rookie quarterback within that time frame, something like that. Like, I mean, that's a subjective sample size, but the O line is really, really bad. Eberflus is awful. It's astonishing that he wasn't fired this year, especially starting fresh with Caleb. Yeah, Bears are unraveling, trending down big time. I think through the last 2-3 weeks, you could easily make the argument that they're the worst team in football. They went like 23 possessions without scoring. So 22, 23 straight possessions without scoring, which is brutal. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, that's what the Bears do. They just kind of implode. I think not firing Eberflus in the offseason is just gonna limit the potential of Caleb, because now you have to bring in someone else and then hope that system works. If you hire the wrong guy, you're back to square one. It's the same thing they did in the Mitch Trubisky era. They drafted
Matt
someone, kept the
Nagy.
coach, then fired, and then Matt Nagy. Yeah, they draft the quarterback, keep the coach, fire the coach, draft the quarterback. So they're always a year off, and they needed to just make a clean break. I honestly think if they had just about anybody in there with a new system with Caleb, it has to be better than what we're seeing right now, right? Like, there's no way there's like a system worse than this.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
clearly
actually
not
on Caleb a
worse.
lot.
0 and 18, 0 and 18 on the road the last like 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It's so glaringly obvious that it's just like, what are they thinking, you know? But it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's just it's a tough watch right now.
No, he has like I shit on Caleb a lot. Obviously, just USC bias. I just didn't really impress me, and I don't care. I don't like USC, so I just kind of give him shit. But and it's funny. I got a lot of shit on social media too, because NFL posted a graphic. It was like, oh, who should win Rookie of the Year? And like has Bo Nix. I think Drake May was in there. Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, obviously Jaden Daniels. And I was like, please remove Caleb Williams from this graphic. And someone's like, you don't fucking know what you're talking about. And I was like, no. I was like, it's just a USC bias. He's actually not playing that bad. He's not. Him and Bo Nix have like eerily similar numbers. What I will say is Caleb Williams has a lot more weapons, and he's not doing a lot with them. But that's, again, offensive play calling and stuff, and that's when the coach comes into play. But
And that was the thing
yeah,
too you heard in the offseason, right? Like, no rookie
yeah,
quarterback has had this kind of offensive talent, and like free agency, you know, the push to really start on the right foot, so to speak, you
yeah.
know? And it's just not working out. Like, it's just not off to a good start. You can see the body language on the sideline, like Caleb's pissed. Yeah, it's just really, really bad right now. But yeah. Hey, there's
Does
our guy.
hey, he's here. Does Eberflus make it out of the season for the season?
Yes, only because the Bears historically do not fire a coach mid-season. I think they actually have never fired a coach mid-season. So McCaskies are super old school. I think they'll ride out the season, good, bad, or ugly. And I think he's done for sure, 100%. But I don't think they fire him during the season.
Yeah, I definitely think he's gone. But I mean, are they still in the mix of things? I mean, I know that division's kind of tough, obviously, to win. But wild card wise, I guess if you are still in that mix for a 6 or 7 seed, you don't really want to fuck it all up, right? Like firing your coach.
I
Right now
don't
they
think
sit at
so. I
number
think
9.
they're trending down so fast. Like I said, like not scoring in like 22, 23 possessions. Haven't won a road. Eberflus hasn't won a road game in 2 years. It's like they just don't have it to really compete. Um, and I don't really fault Caleb for that. I can't. I mean, I do think he holds on to the ball too long. That's something that we've kind of seen. He'll try to hold on to the ball or scramble or try and, like you said, some Pac-12 after dark, and that O
Pac-12 after
line.
dark plays, man.
The O line is just not. It's not good enough to like extend any sort of plays, which I don't fault him for, but they give him such a small margin for error. He has to get rid of the ball quick, and right now, it's just not. It's just not working out. So, like I said, I think he was
You guys talked about
sacked like 6 times on Sunday. He's been sacked like I said, over that 2 week stretch, the most of any rookie quarterback in history, I think. So, I mean, they got a lot of problems, and it's not necessarily on him, but the Bears are just really, really bad.
You guys talk about the talk about Caleb being potentially benched.
Oh, I did see that.
Is that a real headline? I didn't even pay attention to that.
I did
No,
see
I don't
that.
think it's I don't think it's because of him though. I think it's more because of the situation and the fact that he was sacked 9 fucking times yesterday.
Yeah. It was 9,
for
right?
Tyler
I was
Bate
thinking
Magic,
and-
right?
Yeah, it's for confidence reasons and things like that. I would assume also as well as protecting him. But there's something to be said for that, just like the whole Drake May thing. Because putting him back there could ruin him confidence-wise.
I'll take Justin's Justin's words on this one. Their next games are versus Packers, versus Vikings, at Lions, at Niners, at Vikings, versus Lions.
Just call it a wrap. I think the last thing I'll say on this, because I could talk about the Bears probably all night and all their problems. It is fair though. Like it's comparing it to the Patriots, right? We talked about Patriots O-line was really really bad. We're like, do you throw Drake May to the Wolves or do you let him sit and throw him in next year? And we all kind of agreed to let him sit. With the number 1 overall pick, there's immense pressure to play Caleb, especially with like Drake May looking better each week. Janie Daniels has played well. Bo Nix is really coming into his own. I think from their perspective, they're like, he should be able to overcome it. The teams, which isn't fair, but I think that's the perspective. So, I think sitting him could do more damage than good. Because I don't think a lot of Bears fans are really blaming Caleb yet. Like, they can see the obvious faults in the team, especially the O-line. So, I don't think it's like a knock on him, but I do think benching him could be just messing up his confidence, possibly. That's just my take, though.
Even if he communicated it as like, hey, man, like, this season is not going well. The offensive line is trash. We want to sit you to protect you and allow you to get better.
If that's how
I could see it from the point where it's like, so you sit the guy to learn, right? But then he's learning behind Tyson Bagent, who's Tyson Bagent, right? For Drake May, at least, like, Jacoby Brissett's a seasoned vet. He's not like starting quality per se, but he knows his way around probably the playbook and all that stuff, right? And how to conduct yourself as an NFL player. I guess Caleb doesn't have that as his backup quarterback. So I don't know. I just saw that headline. Like, oh, there's talk of potentially benching Caleb for those reasons.
Be interesting to
I
watch
looked
out
up
for.
who's their. I was curious who their third string quarterback was. They do not have one listed on their depth chart. Just Williams and Bagent. That's tough.
Yeah.
So now we'll see. I mean, I agree with Justin. Like, Jacoby is definitely a different quarterback to watch. And not saying Jacoby's a great veteran, but he's won some games and he's been around. He knows how to play. Yeah. Bagent played 3 games last year or something and went 0-3 or something like that. That's not a guy you want to learn from, but I don't know. I'd be crazy. I would be. Do you think? Okay, here's a good question then. Do you think there's a better chance the Bears fire Eberflus midseason or they sit Caleb midseason?
Sit Caleb. I don't think they fired Eberflus. Like I said, the McCaskies have never fired a coach in the middle of the season.
Really?
Yeah, they're just too old school. It's kind of like the Packers. The Packers don't really do that. Mike McCarthy was an outlier. He was also there forever.
But they still did it, right?
Yeah, the Packers still did it.
So could not be that outlier.
I mean, if there's going to be
they lose their next 5 games and now they're 4-10.
You might as well make a statement. I don't know. Try and carry some momentum in the next season, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think if there's ever an outlier,
next 7. They could lose every game the rest of the year.
I know. I left off that Seahawks Packers one just because I was like, whatever about it. But I mean, it still counts.
Still,
that's what it is, right? Seahawks Packers, the last 2.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at the schedule, to be honest.
That's rough.
So But nonetheless, Joller's lock of the century, man. Put the house. Never fails. Love to see that. Love to see
Never fails.
whoever whoever tailed your bet definitely getting that money. This other one, my Colts took on the Bills. This game wasn't close. Shane Steichen doubled down after the game, said Joe Flacco's still going to be our quarterback moving forward for the rest of the season. Despite Flacco throwing 3 picks, 1 pick 6 on the first pass of the game, no less. I think he had a fumble or 2 as well. So he had like 4 or 5 total turnovers. This game wasn't close at all, even though I think Allen had a couple interceptions as well. But the Colts are down bad, the whole AR situation, and it's a conversation after every game now. Like that's all they're asking him. Hey, are you starting next week? Are you guys going with Flacco? Next week, when you play the Jets, are you guys going with Flacco? And he just doubles down every time. He's like, yep. Just like, I don't know. I'd rather, I know we kind of talked about it on the side. I'd rather know now, like, if AR is trash or not. Like, if we're going to spend the time or money or whatever and effort into developing him for next year. Like, what the fuck's the plan for next year? If Flacco's not going to be your quarterback for next year or the year after or the year after that, what the hell's the plan? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think like crowning him the starter like permanently is kind of a premature move. And I think, I mean, that's kind of telling about how they feel about AR. I think. I don't think there's another way to interpret that. I mean, I get the antics, like the I'm tired thing. It's a bad look. Like no one's in defense of that. But to just Flacco starting, and then immediately after that abysmal first half performance in the press are like, yeah, like Flacco's starting the rest of the year, like barring injury or something. It's like that's because if Flacco's really bad this week, right? If then it's going to turn the tables again. Like you might as well put AR in, and if he's as bad as Flacco or worse, then you have your answer. But the Colts are probably, I mean, they're technically in contention, but they're probably not making the playoffs. And the way it's going, it's like, do you really want to make the playoffs?
No.
I agree. You just play AR, see what you got, make a calculated decision after that. I don't know.
I wouldn't have called the decision premature because I think they were in kind of like win now mode. They were 4-3 before losing their last 3, right? When did they bench him? Was it after?
Well, not premature like
game?
Starting him. Premature like after that game, saying, okay, after that game, he's a starter for this year. That to me is premature.
I wouldn't have called it premature. I would call it like they were trying to win. Now it looks bad because they've lost, every game since then. How many games has it been now? 2 or 3?
2. He started the Sunday Night Football game against the Vikings. That was Flacco's like first start. Because the game before that was the game that AR like subbed himself out because he was tired against the Texans.
So they're probably thinking, hey, we can go into this this Sunday night game against Minnesota and maybe steal one. And to be fair, the game was decently close. It wasn't like a blowout or anything, right?
No.
And so they're thinking, hey, we can win now. Like we can make the playoffs now, whatever. Now it looks bad because they've lost both games. But now I get what you're saying though. You can stick Anthony Richardson out there with no expectation anymore. You're like, okay, we're not making the playoffs anymore. Let's just throw him out there and see what happens. That makes sense. But it would make more sense if they lost 1 or 2 more. Because they're still they're still right there, right behind Denver. They're a game back.
Yeah, mathematically they're still in contention.
I don't want
them to be.
It's not even
mathematically. It's 1 game. You know what I mean?
I don't want them to be.
Oh, you got to win out every single game the rest of the year just to make the. No, like you're only 1 game back, and they play the Jets.
Yikes! That'll be fun. The oldest quarterback matchup above this season, probably. I would bet.
The AARP
Bowl,
yeah.
The retirement bowl, your old as fuck bowl,
the wheelchair bowl,
Social Security bowl, Run for Congress bowl.
Seriously, but yeah. So I mean, yeah, they look bad. Flacco looked bad. I mean, JT looked good, even though his last 2 losses Sunday night he did good. This game he did good. You know, he's putting up, I think, 3 games, putting up over 100 yards rushing, which is good to see him when he's healthy and consistent. So if that can translate till next year or whatever, then that would be awesome. This next one, man, upset me a lot. I watched this one pretty closely. Definitely a defensive battle. The Broncos Chiefs. I'm not going to bag on the missed calls or whatever. I feel like it's every week. Although I did see like a lot of people were saying that it was rigged because like I don't know if you watched the play or the highlights or like the people that were like diving deep into it. But the guy just like let him go, let him just fucking bulldoze him to like let him block the field goal.
And there was like more lined up on one side than was supposed to be, right?
He just like fell down, just like
there's no. They had like 8 guys on one side of the line. Like I thought that like something I saw said that wasn't allowed. Like a certain amount of players on one side of the center versus the other.
I didn't see that, but it just looked bad. The whole like falling down, no blocking thing. But more important, did you see the Mahomes thing when he talked to the ref? Like, hey, let me know if he's like near me or some shit. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I read that
a
tonight,
joke?
and I was
I
like,
don't understand.
was that sarcasm? But then, like, I guess when you play it back, they're like, it doesn't sound like sarcasm. Like,
well, they said it on the announcement because they knew it was caught on the hot mic, so they were like, "Oh, there's Mahomes telling the ref."
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they made a joke. The announcers they made a joke. Was it Tony? I think probably calling the Chiefs game as he always does. Dude, yeah. I mean, it's good. Like this defensive game, obviously, Chiefs defense is up there. Broncos defense is tight too. Broncos had the lead for all but 6 minutes of the game, and drove down 35-yard field goal. You think that's like borderline chip shot, right? Because what's the point after now? 33-yard field goals is what the PATs are.
32, I think.
Right there. They're 32. Those are 35-yarders. So like, okay, not super egregious. And there's been 4 blocked field goals all year. And of course, who does it benefit? I don't know, man.
Denver looked pretty good though. Like I thought they were gonna win it, and I was gonna say something, but I decided against better judgment to not say something. But because I thought of it, the jinx still happened, right? Because I even let it enter my brain, I still jinxed them. So hand up accountability on me on that. But yeah, that was an annoying loss. The Chiefs are invincible. They just can't fucking lose.
Well, they're getting a lot of help from the refs, to be fair.
And they're so average, dude. I'll die on the hill. They are so beyond average. I think there's like so many teams better than them, but they're undefeated. It's insane.
They're gonna get got eventually. It's gonna happen.
They have to. I think Pittsburgh's better than them.
You search Chiefs on Twitter. This is like the number one thing going right now.
Haters will say it's fake.
Dude, I especially I've been posting too. It gets so much heat for like talking shit on the Chiefs, like with the whole refs and stuff. But like, it's not just like, I mean, and I'm not like a Broncos fan or Chargers fan or whatever. But like, the world knows, like, it's noticeably favored, like nepotism.
It's not
like
a one-off. It's every week.
Yeah. Dude, it's always something, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're just bitching about it. They just because Patrick Mahomes is the best, whatever." Like, first off, he's not going to MVP. I know that for a fact, and this team is not going to the Super Bowl.
Do you though?
They're going to lose in the playoffs by like 20.
No way, dude. The refs won't allow that big of a gap.
That's the only way they'll lose is if it's that big of a gap. Refs can't cover 20 points.
If the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, I swear, like I said this before, like many times, but like, I honest to God may not want to watch it. Like, I feel that deeply, deeply in my soul. But I'll probably still watch it because I'm a red-blooded American, and you watch the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sundays. But I can't even like imagine wanting to even watch that game if the Chiefs are in it again. It's like the least excited I'll be for Super Bowl probably like in my entire life.
No, because you'd be rooting for the other team harder than any team ever in any Super Bowl.
Almost as close like the Colts were in it.
Yeah.
My dad was like, if the Lions make the Super Bowl, are you rooting against them? And I was like, I have to say yeah, right? But like, if it's against the Chiefs, it's almost like I can't even fake wanting the Chiefs to win. But I also can't really hate the Lions too much. I might get a lot of flack for that. But
I don't know. I don't know why you would.
They've been
The
bad
Packers
my
have
entire
owned the
life.
Lions forever.
Yeah,
It's true.
they've been bad my entire life. It's like, I don't
Let them
know.
get one.
Dude, if it's Lions Chiefs, I'm extra ordering my Jared Goff jersey immediately.
America, dude, if you click an online poll, I guarantee you like 99.9% of the entire country would be
Like
rooting
when they
for
do
the
that map
Lions.
where it's like, oh, who's rooting for the teams? It's like the one fucking was it Missouri? Just fucking red.
Yeah.
Everything else is blue.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw some video.
Yeah.
I wish I sent it. Like, it was like, yeah. Have you ever seen those videos where it's like, oh, you're huge, you're a diehard Cowboys fan. All right, who, name 3 Cowboys, or what number is Zeke? Or they always do like weird shit like that. Everyone's like, I'm a
Where'd you go
diehard.
to college?
Like,
Yeah.
that's that one. Where they go to college, shit like that. And someone who was like, oh, you're Chiefs fan? Yeah, oh, diehard Chiefs. Oh, yeah, what state are they from? And they're like, oh, Kansas. Oh, Kansas. Oh, like Wisconsin. Oh, okay, like shit like that. Like, you fucking illiterate
fakes.
fucks.
You know what though? Kansas City is a shared. So I can't backtrack, but Kansas City is either the same city in 2 states, or Kansas and Missouri both have Kansas City. I don't know if you know that.
Never heard that in my life.
Yeah,
Not a
there's
geographist.
a Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri.
Do you think I'm some sort of 6th grade geography teacher? What's going on here? No, but yeah, that shit was comedy. Fucking fake as hell. Terrible, but yeah, when they win, get to squeak out another win, another division win, close one, but good to see Bo Nix and company look pretty decent. So hopefully they make a push, for the playoffs. So obviously they're gonna be battling the Chargers for those last spots, so it'll be fun. The other division matchup, last one for the morning, the Falcons Saints. I think we all picked Atlanta. Thought they would have had this one pretty easily. No Olave, obviously, since he's was murdered last week. But yeah, Saints come out with the win. Valdez-Scantling, man, 3 catches, 2 tuds, 100 yards. Haven't seen those numbers in a cool minute.
I forgot he was on the Saints. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. That's why I was like,
all
what the
year.
hell? When I was looking at that, I was like, what the hell?
Division game,
Kirk
man.
Cousins. No, yeah, I mean division game. I wouldn't have pegged Atlanta to win by like 20 or something crazy, but
Saints have lost 7 games in a row, right? Nobody would pick them.
Yeah.
No one saw that happening.
Did you see the pregame, the conference or whatever with the new coach, or the interim head coach? He's like, oh, I clogged the toilet because I took a shit, so I felt like it was gonna be like a crappy day today, but it wasn't because he clogged the toilet or something.
I thought that was a meme. I didn't know that was like a real quote.
Yeah,
that was
like,
real.
I clogged the toilet, so it's gonna be a crappy day, yeah, or something like that.
Oh
Just
god,
most cheese ball line, but
crazy. Atlanta led in total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, total plays. Better in penalties and time of possession.
It happened to the Saints, and they lost to the Panthers last week.
Yeah,
back to back, or almost back to back.
Yeah, I mean, I still stand by it. Atlanta's obviously division to lose for sure, but I mean, those easy ones, I feel like they got it. They're 2 ahead of Tampa Bay, so I mean, there still is room for Tampa Bay to kind of make that jump. But Mike Evans is supposed to come back next week too, actually. So I mean, that's
they're really 3. They're really like 3 ahead of Tampa Bay because they won both games. So
they swept
Tampa Bay has to beat them out by 1.
That is true. Good lids, but Mike Evans coming back. We'll see. That game was good too. That was close. The Niners Tampa Bay game. McCaffrey's first game back.
Yeah.
He has 39 rush yards.
You see Baker stiff arm Nick Bosa all the way to the sideline and then complete the 4th down
and
pass.
make the pass.
Yes,
that was hard.
He stiff armed him for like an hour. I felt like that play was like an hour long.
Yeah.
He went like sideline to sideline basically. It felt like, or straight out of the pocket to the sideline. That's a grown man move right there. MVP
Nobody's
just
talking
for
about
that.
Baker in the MVP conversation. quietly leads the league in passing touchdowns.
They don't like when they're on losing teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not his fault, man. It's like Joe.
That's
It's like
why,
Joe Burrow.
dude. Yeah, Joe Burrow should be extra in the MVP conversation. That's why Mahomes
Joe
should be
Burrow
out of
really
it
should.
because they're undefeated. Like, doesn't matter. Like,
If Joe Burrow has like a top 20 defense, they win like 2 or 3 more games this season. That's how big of a difference
Easily.
it's been. Which
Yeah.
isn't asking for much. That's just how many. I mean, the Bengals give up freaking 30 plus points a game. It's like you just can't. Nobody can win like that, you know.
Baker has doubled up Patrick Mahomes in touchdown passes, 12 to 24 this year,
sounds about
with the
right.
same amount of interceptions.
Damn. And Baker is what? 8th in MVP voting or MVP betting. And McCaffrey looked pretty good. I mean, he caught more passes than he ran, but probably just don't want to ease him into the rushing game. So, but hopefully they want to stay atop of that NFC West. And I don't know if you guys saw the videos of Debo freaking yelling at their kicker and the long snapper, or whatever. They're kind of getting into it on the sidelines.
Dude, what the hell was that? He like throat punched the guy.
Punched him, or threw his arm at him.
Yeah, I guess Shanahan already came out. He was like, "No, it's squashed," or whatever. He was just, I think he said like he was just like hot, and Moody missed like 3 field goals. He's like, "Come on!" He was kind of like getting him hyped, but he was like pissed about it. Like when you're like, "What the fuck, man? Like, let's go, come on!" But I think maybe this long snapper like misheard or like thought he was being like a dick about it, and then kind of stepped in, and it was just kind of all weird.
You hit guys in the chest when you're trying to get them hyped up, not the fucking throat.
He's like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah.
No, it's a bad look for sure. But if Shanahan kind of made a bit, they won, so I think that just solves everything. Anyways, if they lose this game, you're like, hey, is there trouble on the sideline in San Francisco? You make a whole story about it, right? Because they won, you watch it. Shanahan comes out and was like, nah, it's taken care of in house, whatever. It's all good. Debo was like, nah, I was just out of character for a second. My bad. It's nothing. I just thought it was really weird. Yeah, man, 3 missed field goals. What the fuck are you doing? And this is like his first game back too, because they had Anders Carlson or whatever, because Jake Moody was out for a while.
Packers legend Anders Carlson. Just kidding, he was ass.
But 3 field goals is tough, because obviously you shouldn't be there at the end, but they walk it off and get that win to stay, to stay on pace with Arizona. But hopefully Mike Evans comes back for Tampa Bay. I think that'd be fun. Obviously Chris Godwin's not coming back, but man, if you just give one more pair of hands for Baker to throw to, he's gonna extrapolate those touchdown numbers for sure.
They might not need him though with the games that they have coming up. The stretch that they lost him in was just brutal. Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, San Francisco.
It's true.
It's tough. All those games they lost by 1 possession, a combined total of 12 points. No, I don't know. Going close, right? I don't think they got blown out.
Baltimore. Everything else, yeah.
Oh, Baltimore won. They did get blown out. That was that Monday night game. I remember. That was when they lost them both.
That was the first game without them. Yeah. They probably win the next 3 with them. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, then even better if stay healthy and just win a couple and then get them back in. Probably make a playoff push or even for the division. If Atlanta kind of slides like they did yesterday, who knows? And it can happen. This other one, that was obviously a pretty decent game. This other one was pegged as probably the top 2 or 3 games of the week. I'm not sure one of us voted for it. The Steelers at Washington game. I know we kind of talked about it. Do you think if Russell Wilson outperformed Jaden Daniels? I know, Justin, you made that comment too. Like, oh, well, Russell Wilson has an easier defense to go against than Jaden Daniels does. Jaden Daniels outpassed Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson was more efficient with three touchdowns. One of them was, I don't know if you saw the highlights or watching any of that game, but the freaking dime to Mike Williams in the corner of the end zone to take the lead, and technically the go-ahead touchdown to win was nice. Like dropped it in over the shoulder. It was a beauty.
Indeed. Charger legend Mike Williams. Pittsburgh's good, man. Pittsburgh's really good. Hats off to Russ. I think everyone thought it was a bad omen pulling Justin. It doesn't mean Justin couldn't have won these games, but Russ has played well, and the Steelers look good. I think they could be.
It's a good question.
Dangerous.
Do they win all these games with Justin Fields? Probably. Maybe not. Maybe not the Washington game, but all the other ones.
Jets, Giants, right?
Jets, Giants,
Jets,
Raiders.
Giants,
Russell didn't start for the Raiders on the Raiders game.
Oh, he didn't?
No, that was that Saturday Night Football game against New York. That was his first game.
Oh.
But yeah, I
the
mean,
reason
like
I picked Pittsburgh this game was because, again, we talked about last week. It was like number 2 offense versus number 2 defense, something like that. Probably the toughest defense Jaden Daniels has had to see. Total yards, 262 to 312 for Pittsburgh. I just thought it'd be easier for us, but it was close, super close, like we thought.
Yeah, they had the chance too. I mean, if they scored that go ahead touchdown, Jay Daniels had the ball. They had there was a 4th and 8 or 4th and 9. It was like a pass to Zach Ertz, like right on the line to gain, and they ruled him short, which I thought he had it. In real time, it looks like he had it too. Like when he watched it live, because I definitely caught the end of this one to see, and they didn't give it to him. But then defense does their job and gets them to 4th down, and freaking Russ does a hard count and gets one of them to jump off sides to end the game.
Yeah,
It's so wild because it's a rookie, of course, too. Their nose tackle jumps off side, and you see it right when he freaking goes over the side, he touches the center, whoever the guard, and everyone on the defense just freaking throws their hands up because they knew that's it.
Yeah.
Do you get in the huddle and you tell them, hey guys, whatever you do, just close your eyes and don't move. They're not gonna run.
Yeah.
You're not gonna run a play. They're not gonna run a play.
You say we're not snapping the ball. Don't move. We're just trying to draw them off sides. That's it.
No, but to your defense, do you tell them, hey, do not jump, just sit there?
Oh no, you just watch the ball. Defense is always just supposed to watch the ball. You don't move unless the ball moves.
Got his ass.
And to play depth, you can't hear anything.
He did not watch it. He listened. That's what he did. And it's extra.
No, you don't do that.
He felt it.
He
used the force.
Jumped off, and I don't say lose the game for him, but no, this was a good one. Definitely close as we definitely imagined. I could have gone both ways for sure. Russell Wilson had to throw 3 touchdowns to win this game by 1. So wasn't easy. And then Jay Daniels also didn't throw for any touchdowns too. So if he did throw for 1 in there, something could have been different. But nonetheless, still both top teams, on pace to definitely make the playoffs or even win their respective divisions. So we'll see them again for sure down the line in more games that matter too. So, but speaking of games that don't matter, the last one of the morning was the Vikings-Jacksonville game. I did reserve my right to change my pick once I found out Mac Jones was starting. They almost fucking won. They almost won. They were winning for a cool minute, and I was low-key stressed. I was like, what the fuck? Is Sam Darnold really going to lose to Mac Jones in Jacksonville?
I would have had a field day.
There was 5 interceptions between the two of them, which sounds about right if you are talking about Mac Jones and Sam Darnold. 5 interceptions total and not 1 passing touchdown in this game. So extra sounds right. I don't know. Is there trouble in Minnesota? Is this game? This is one of those ones I should have handled.
No, but it kind of pisses me off because when I was watching it, I was telling myself, man, if Trevor Lawrence is in, they probably win this game. Vikings suck, which would be good for me. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think it changes too much. But,
yeah, just because their schedule
didn't play well. But, yeah, they have an easy schedule. Sam's coming back to earth, though. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. If they lost this game, was it a big deal? You're like, meh.
I mean, good teams don't lose to 2-win teams out of week 10, right? Good teams beat up
then you
on bad
drop 3
teams.
out of your last 4. And it's like, okay, are the Vikings actually ass? Like, were they just fake 5-0? You know?
Yeah.
Uh,
But there's no pictures on the win-loss record, right? That's it. Just a number, just a win. That's all
Doesn't
you gotta
matter.
get.
You win every
Just
game
a
by
highlight
1. Doesn't
reel.
matter.
all the mistakes.
We know, but yeah, no Vikings get it off. So yeah, man, there was some good ones. Obviously, the out of that morning slate, you know, the Denver KC one was the key one that I wanted to that we picked to watch, and then the Pittsburgh Washington one was pretty good too. I wish they would have flexed like one of those, like the afternoon or well, it's a night game. We'll get to that too, but I thought maybe not having those games on. You don't the Chiefs usually play at like 1 p.m. So do the Charge or the Broncos too. Usually, I'm not I could be wrong, but I thought they always play at like 1.
The more popular teams are usually playing afternoon games.
No, it's like a West Coast thing, time zone. Packers always play at like 10 because they're 2 hours.
The Colts always
ahead.
play at 10 usually.
Yeah, Midwest.
But speaking of afternoon, there was a few afternoon games. They weren't that good, albeit. I'll kind of run through them for you real quick. First game in the afternoon was out here in SoCal. Titans took on the Chargers. Will Levis was back behind center after the few games going with Mason Rudolph. He actually didn't look that bad. He had 220 total yards and 2 touchdowns. However, as we've mentioned, kind of last few episodes, I think, Chargers number 1 defense in the league of points allowed per game. They had 7 sacks on the day, which is a nightmare for any quarterback, let alone Will Levis. Chargers take it pretty easy at home, 27-17. Justin's Cowboys host their NFC division rival at home. NFC division rival Eagles at home. And if anyone knows, when the Cowboys play at home, they do not win. Cooper Rush gets the starting nod, although there was a Trey Lance sighting. Not sure which one did better, as they both combined for 49 total passing yards. It's the lowest in franchise record since 2001. Jalen Hurts does what he always does: runs for a few scores, throws for a few scores, and Eagles take this one very easily, 34-6. And the final afternoon game, Justin's Jets take on Justin's Cardinals in Glendale. Cardinals continue to impress. The Justin Marietta Bowl. The Cardinals continue to impress every single week, and the Jets are 100% dead. They managed 207 total. Managed 207 total yards and 2 field goals. That's what the Jets did. Murray finishes with over 250 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and only 2 incompletions. So he was the Jared Goff award winner of the week. Arizona looks great. They rolled for an easy dub at home, 31-6. That first one, I'll just kind of run through it real quick on my thoughts. Chargers, better team. Titans, weak team. Got to beat on both those weak teams, you know, when they did pretty convincingly. I know they only won by 10, but I mean, that's still 2 possessions at home. Great defense, still looks pretty good. The Chargers are kind of clicking. You know, at the beginning of the year, they weren't pegged to be, you know, that good. Obviously, Harbaugh comes in, new coach. J.K. Dobbins coming off of an Achilles injury, getting traded. You know, who's Hubert going to throw to because they don't have Keelan Allen anymore. It was kind of a toss up, and their defense is doing great, keeping them in all these games.
I did not watch this game. Like I said earlier, I was intentfully watching all the Bears game. I flipped around, but I wanted to watch the Bears game. I had no intention of watching Will Levis or any desire to watch Will Levis. I thought the Chargers would clean up convincingly, and they did. I don't have much. Nothing too surprising here.
Easy pick. Top defense versus bad team.
Top defense versus bad team. You definitely have to win those two, especially as you get down the season, Chargers over Titans, or if the Chargers play the Jags or something, like those are ones you just have to win at this point. It's which I'm not sure who they play next. I just said the Jaguars. I think they already played the Jaguars. I think it was like week 1 and they beat them, but gotta win those games. Eagles Cowboys. I saw 0% of this game, as Justin, you probably did as well. No, I don't know if you watched it or not.
It was closer in the first half, I thought. Like, it was the definition of, like, had them in the first half, not going to lie. I mean, because the Cowboys weren't winning, but it wasn't like a blowout. And then the second half happened, and it was just the floodgates, and it was ugly. It was bad.
14-6 at halftime. It's true.
You know, I think, did you guys see, well, first of all, CD, that touchdown in the end zone, right to him, right? Because he can't see because the goddamn sun. Yeah, he doesn't even reach for the ball, which isn't, I'm not blaming him. But, and then of course in the media afterwards asking Jerry about it, and he's like, everyone knows where the sun is. All the opponents, everyone knows where the sun is, where it's going to be at that time of day. Like, falling on his sword in defense of the sun issue, like it's a non-issue. When people have been talking about it for years. I was dying listening to Part of My Take this morning when they were like, I mean, surely when they built the stadium, like there's no way of knowing which side the sun's going to be on, right? Like whether it sets in the north or the south or the east or the west. There's no way to know that when they're building it, right? $1 billion and they don't know. It's true, though. It's so bad. And people are like, maybe they should put blinds when the Cowboys are on offense and they just lift the blinds when they're on defense, right? So it is bad, though. All the camera angles in the end zone. I don't blame CD one bit, but the fact that he doesn't even reach for the ball, that he has no vision. I don't think he didn't. I legitimately think he couldn't see. And it's really bad. So I'm curious, Justin, your take on that. If you've been bitching about the sun for years, or is it just like a more of a new thing? It looks bad on TV.
It hasn't been the biggest deal. Like this hasn't happened too often where it's been like talked about as much as it. But yeah, I've noticed it ever since they built the stadium. These afternoon games, you always have the sun coming in the same place. It's just about, okay, like who's on offense or defense during that time. I imagine it's something that you think about when you're either accepting or deferring the kickoff if you win the coin toss, about which way you're going to be playing at the end of the game. But yeah, for Jared to come out and be like, I thought I saw something where he's like, oh yeah, no, we might as well just like tear it down and build a whole new $1 billion stadium.
Dick.
Yeah, he basically was like, yeah, what are we talking about? Should we just tear it down? I'm like, dude, you're totally dodging. It's a legitimate question, right? It's a legitimate question. Like,
yeah,
what do you do about it?
This is just another like mismanagement thing. That's all it is. It's terrible.
Yeah. I didn't have anything to say on the game, just Jerry's comments, not gonna lie.
The another terrible loss at home. They're obviously 0-4 at home this season, being outscored 153-59 in 4 games. Who did the
Cowboys play on Thanksgiving?
I believe Washington.
I was gonna say Pittsburgh.
Yes, Washington.
Oh.
The Packers play Pittsburgh.
They already played Pittsburgh.
No, they play Miami on Thanksgiving. Never mind. So the Cowboys may not win through November at home, possibly.
They may not win in November, period.
Texans, Commanders, Giants.
Yeah,
they'll beat the Giants, yeah. Because the Giants have home?
No, Giants are Thanksgiving. Giants are the Thanksgiving game, my bad.
Oh, yeah,
Washington is the Sunday before. That could definitely be a loss, though. I picked Daniel Jones over Trey Lance.
Trey Lance gets in for like 5 minutes.
I can't even say that out loud. Like, I think I would take Justin. You were gone when we talked the Giants segment, but I was just ripping on Daniel Jones. Like, I don't think I take Deshaun Watson right now over Daniel Jones. Like, that's just how out I am on Daniel Jones. When he had that pass to Malik Neighbors, when he airmailed him 15 yards in the air, like just way over his head on like a 7-yard slant, a 7-yard out. He had a clean pocket, didn't even roll out, just took a step and just flat out airmailed him. Malik Neighbors doesn't even make eye contact. He's just like slowly walks back. And I was saying Brian Dable's face is just like, I feel nothing. Yeah, I've seen this 100,000 times. It's never going to get better. It's miserable. So yeah, I think I'd pick probably anybody over Daniel Jones. I will be picking the Cowboys in that game ahead of time. So Thanksgiving, I will be picking the Cowboys against the Giants.
Cowboys are at home that game.
Yeah, but I think the Giants. I cannot in good faith truly pick the Giants to win any game the rest of the season. That's how bad they are to me. They're worse than the Cowboys right now.
The Cowboys are still in the running for number 1 pick. They only have 3 wins. So hopefully that's what happens.
The Giants have 2. So if they lost that game, well, it's 2 weeks from now. So who do the Cowboys play this week?
Houston.
Okay, so so that could actually have top pick implications, ironically.
Yeah.
Do you want me to root against Dallas so you have number 1 pick?
I want you to jinx them every single week.
Like in solidarity, like I hope you lose so you can have a higher draft pick. I would do that.
No, just say like, oh man, Dallas is going to blow Washington out this game. That way we know that they lose.
All right.
Extra not going to
happen. See what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
Speaking another three-win team though. The Justin's Jets, man. They are 100% dead. And Cardinals sneakily, they started off 2-4 and have rallied off for 4 straight wins to be in the lead of that division at 6-4.
Cardinals are so frisky, man. I am so back on the Cardinals. Dude, it's like not even funny.
I'm sold, man.
I picked this game with my heart and my head. It was screaming Arizona, Arizona, Arizona. Like no, because that means the Jets are done. And
but
the
you
Jets
knew in your heart of hearts.
It's like
you knew deep down.
I knew in my head. I knew Arizona was going to come out and win.
He said like on like 2 episodes ago. He was like, or 3 episodes ago. You were like, oh, I could see them beating the Jets in 2 weeks. You said that.
Yeah, he knew, man.
Yeah,
he knew.
No,
you knew
I
back
knew.
then.
I knew. I didn't know it was going to be like this, but
you just didn't want to say it out loud and have it happen.
Dude, the Cardinals continue to fucking like ever since that Green Bay game where I jumped off. It's just like win.
In your defense, though, they did look awful against the Packers. Like they couldn't get anything going.
Well, what I was worried about was the fact that okay, like after that Green Bay game, they've now lost 3 of 4 with that like squeak, that like eking out of San Francisco in the middle, right? And I was like, it's probably
they weren't playing well.
You know?
But if you scrap September though. Like, and just look at the last month, like the Cardinals look way better than their record is. And they're totally in the hunt, for the division. They're totally
They've
right
also
there.
played some, like, not amazing competition. I mean, the Chargers, they win by, off the last second field goal. Miami, they win off the last second field goal, and then they beat up on a shit Bears team, and then the Jets are just abysmal, apparently. So, I don't know, but I love the Cardinals. I'm hoping they win the division and get a home playoff game.
I do too. Unless the Packers are a wild card team
do
going
like
into
dog
Arizona.
shit like he did 3 years ago in the playoffs.
Certified
against
hater
the Rams.
over here, dude.
No man, I'm
Certified
sold this
hater.
year. I'm sold. I want him to do well. I like them.
Like, who roots against the Cardinals? Nobody hates the Cardinals.
My dad.
The Cardinals, you know what I mean? Yeah, but no, he really hates like the Rams or Seattle, right?
That's true.
He doesn't hate the fucking Cardinals.
Their coach looks too dorky for me though to get behind. He just looks kind of like a nerd. Gannon, I think is his name.
Friggin' nerd.
Like, did you even play any sports ever?
Do you even know ball, bro?
Nah, he barely does. He was like
He's
super
the
like
anti-Dan Campbell.
Yeah, like the reverse
Dan
Campbell.
man's man. Sick goatee, buff.
When you think of nerds, you look at Mike McDaniel. That's who you picture as like all-time coach nerd looking guy.
He is, dude. Mike McDaniel's a
that
fucking
fool is
dork,
street.
Dude.
What? Have you heard him talk?
He fakes it, dude. He's the CEO
looks like
of fake it till you make it. I don't hate Mike McDaniel, but he does too much. He tries to play off the cool guy too much.
Well, speaking of Mike McDaniel, they did. They're one of these last two primetime games. Kind of run them through it for you real quick for everyone. First off, the Sunday night game last night for whenever you guys are watching this. The Lions go into Houston, take on the all-red Houston Texans. Houston was up 23-7 at half. Looks like they were handling Detroit, which was kind of shocking. And they scored 0 points the entire second half. Detroit's defense definitely kept him in the game, despite Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions. Very anti-Jared Goff. He's Mr. Efficient, Mr. QBR, Mr. passer rating, and had, I think, 4 picks over the last 6 or 7 weeks, and then those throws 5 in this one game. But not sure if that's worse or if actually intercepting the ball 5 times and not winning a game is worse. That'll be a question.
That feels worse. Just even hearing that out
D'Amico
loud,
Ryans can answer. So Lions win on a walk-off 52-yard bomb by Jake Bates and stay atop the NFC at 8-1. And then finally, the Monday night game, as I said, Mike McDaniel goes into SoFi on Monday night against Matthew Stafford and gets the win on Monday night. Definitely a must-win, I guess, for Tua, his first win since being back from being injured. Dolphins take this one 23-15. Tua over 200 yards, 1 touchdown, and Tyreek Hill had his first touchdown since I believe week 1. So I mean that's good to see for fantasy goer. But besides that, this game had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 field goals. And Dolphins won 23-15 in LA. I don't really have that much on the Monday night one. I mean, I thought the Rams, I think we all picked LA, if I'm not mistaken. We did all pick LA. And their offense looked terrible. I watched the first half pretty consistently, and then I was cleaning up and doing stuff. Every time I got the ball, they just could not do much with it, at all. Obviously,
I think we didn't really know, Tua's only been back for a week or so. Don't really know. If he's still getting back in the swing of things. Rams were healthy, right? And they were kind of trending, we said. Seemed like a clear pick. Rams at home, right? But I guess it's good for Arizona, right? As far as the division thing. I mean, it's not I guess it's a bigger loss definitely for the Rams because the division's so tight. For the Dolphins, it's your season's over anyways, barring
no.
I don't know, man.
Barring some furious comeback. Well, I mean, the way the Jets are playing, maybe not, if they can string a few wins together. But I don't see Miami making the playoffs. I just don't. But
you just have to remember, who's in the AFC playoff picture, right? And then you have to go off that.
Denver is at 5-5, listed the 7th seed.
Yeah,
right now.
who's gonna take 7 is the question. Denver's 5-5, and then you have Indy, Cincinnati, Miami.
That's fair. I would take Miami over Indy. No offense,
Indy.
Zach.
And if Cincinnati had a top 25 defense, I would take them.
Yeah, top 20.
A top 31 defense, maybe.
Seriously,
something like that.
Dude.
If they only allowed 25 points per game instead of 31 points per game, they'd have a chance.
That's tough.
But they can't.
But yeah, man, Texans continue to disappoint. They lost back-to-back primetime games since they lost to the Jets in that Thursday night game on Halloween. Come back on Sunday night, get the mini bye too, and lose to Detroit at home. They were in control of this game the whole first half, and then obviously you give the ball to your offense with 5 picks. I mean, as a defense, you hold the top scoring offense in the NFC to 7 points and a half. You intercept Mr. Efficient 5 times, and you get the ball to CJ, and you say, "What the hell are you going to do with this? You're going to score 0 points the entire second half." That sucks.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Not going to really knock Jared Goff.
How are we feeling about the Texans?
I'm out.
Dude, they're
out.
I mean, they're gonna host a playoff game because they're going to win the division, but
rip up your ticket and throw it in the garbage.
I look right now too. I looked at my phone right now at the division because the Texans are trending down for sure, but the division is so so beyond dreadful that they're going to win it, right? There's no, even at 6-4, there's not a snowball's chance in hell they lose that division.
No, because they're going to be 9-4. The Texans will be 9-4. Everybody will be
beat
saying,
the Jags
"Oh,
again.
this is the team."
They're going to beat everyone again in the late second half games. They're going to beat them all, barring
They're going to be 9-4, and then they're going to lose 3 in a row, and then they're going to win their last one. They're going to be 10-7. Calling it
right now. I mean, I hate to say it, I was so big on them going into the season. They're a first round exit right now at the house. Like they're just not. They're just not playing well. They are. They're just not playing well. They haven't beat anybody all year, which we've acknowledged.
Damn. They were I said that 8 weeks ago.
Season started 8 weeks ago, you cock.
Exactly.
They were up massive against the Lions in prime time, and they pulled the Falcons, not scoring in the entire second half. That's a super disheartening loss, right? Because you can say, "Oh, defense blew, blah blah blah." No, the offense didn't do anything in the second half. It's inexcusable. Period. So that's a really, really bad loss to me. The Lions are a great team, but to be up that big on prime time, a chance to make a statement, and then completely shit the bed, it's like that's got to be a demoralizing loss. Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but that feels like a huge demoralizing loss.
Yeah, I mean, I think their biggest demoralizer for like the whole season as a whole was like when Nico Collins went out first. He was leading the league. He actually led the league in receiving yards through like week 7, and he hadn't played since like week 5. He was like out for 2 games already, and I think he'll be back next week. So he didn't play yesterday. He practiced, but he's not back. Now obviously Stephon Diggs too. Mixon was out for a couple of games too. I mean, all those injuries kind of take a toll, and then coupled with only beating the teams that are really ass and not even like destroying them either. Like they're not beating them by a lot. And then I agree with Drawler. This was a huge game, nationally televised game, and you're beating some would say Super Bowl favorites, or at least favorites to be in the Super Bowl, and you're leading them convincingly at half and look great doing it, on the defensive side of the ball especially, and you come up and put a freaking 0 in the second half. Like, it's a bad look for the offense for sure. Like, they need to come out. Even if they come out and win these next 3 games, which they should, they probably play Tennessee, Jacksonville, and then someone else.
Dallas.
Like, even if they come out and win these next games by
will win their next 3.
20 plus, 10 plus each game. You win these games by a total of like 30 or more. They're still going to finish 10-7, 11-6 at the best. Host a playoff game because Indy's not going to win that division, and lose to what would it be, the freaking 7 seed, because they'll be the lowest.
Both out.
Well, the Jets game really, really was embarrassing to watch for them, and this one kind of solidified it more for me.
Yeah, so Houston's wins are Indy twice, Chicago, Jacksonville, New England, and then Buffalo by 3.
The Buffalo one is their only is a win. Like Colts, I mean, yeah, sure, that's not a real good win. You sweep them, great, but Colts are bad. Colts defense is super ass. So, yeah, man.
But
I'm out.
But we bleed blue.
God.
Dude, he won Fan of the Year, baby. He's going to the Super Bowl.
That's so fire.
Wasn't that Tom Grossi last year?
Yeah, Tom Grossi did win, I believe. Tom Grossi, Packers superfan / YouTuber extraordinaire. Won Fan of the Year.
He's like the most
Fan of the Year
popular,
halfway through the
NFL
season
game streamer.
Yeah. Seth deserves it. Wow. Shout out, Seth. If you're listening, go Colts. This is our team.
I like his name.
We love them for the shoe. I know the whole song, dude. I'm dialed in.
He always does.
Gotta work on that. That was weak, dude. That was weak.
Fun fact, the 3 of the top 4, I just saw this, I was kind of going through some stats for the whole week. traditionally, if a team can run the ball pretty well, usually they're in a good position to win. And obviously, if the quarterback throws for over 200 or 300 yards, usually it's a good sign that they either win by a lot or they're down, say, if they throw the ball a lot. But anyways, 3 of the top 4 passing leaders of the week all lost. Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, and Stafford all led or top 4 in passing yards this week. All lost. And on the flip side, though, which was weird, 3 of the top 4 running backs of the week also were in all L's. Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, and Tyrone Tracy led the week in rushing yards, and all of them were in losing efforts as well. Oh, that was kind of odd to see.
Crazy.
Yards don't matter.
Can't get in the damn end zone.
How many more games we got to talk about? This is like the longest pod.
Oh, that was it. Thursday. Oh, we'll say though, Thursday is going to be a freaking baller one. Washington and Philly. Battle for first place.
Yes, sir.
Another back-to-back division matchup.
Nah, Philly's going to win.
Washington, baby. Jaden Daniels. The comeback.
If Washington wins, they're like super for real ski.
I saw something that said Washington hasn't beat a team with a winning record this season, but I believe that's false. Yeah, they beat Arizona. But everybody else.
But at the time, Arizona was still shitty.
That's true. Philly?
I'm probably taking too much stock into the Eagles after that ass whooping on Sunday.
Philly is equally bad. I'm just going to do this like total toss-up game. I'm just going to take Washington because I hate Philly more.
Yeah.
So, why not?
Hell yeah.
I already said Philly. No take-backsies. I'm not like Justin.
No take-backsies? No. I know Justin changes his picks 1 minute before the game. No, I'll change it right now.
As long as it's before. Where are we at picks-wise? How are we doing?
Oh, picks-wise, Justin's winning with 56 total picks. Jallar's at 50. I'm at 44.
You have 6 more than me? The hell?
He does.
What about the Yahoo one, though?
I think I'm winning.
No,
Just
look right now.
I stopped picking in that.
Saquon D's nuts, dude. I got 83 to 66.
Damn.
I'm like basically a professional gambler at that point. So, Zach, you're 82 and 67.
1 week.
Wait, how close
So
are we?
you forgot. 1 pick.
Oh, yeah, we're hella close.
Damn.
82 and 67 and 83 and 66.
Woo! Justin, a sneaky 48 and 101.
Hey, still time.
How many weeks have I forgot to pick now?
Probably
it must be like 4 weeks at this point.
I can tell you right now. You haven't picked since week 7. Week 7, you picked Monday night, and that was it.
Just Monday?
Yeah.
I must have picked on Monday. Like when I woke up, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, because week 8 nothing, week 9 nothing, and then this week was nothing.
I can still come back.
You can happen.
Ooh,
Let's change it to spreads. Come back.
it is.
It is spreads.
Oh, is it spreads?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Change it to money line, Owen.
Oh, well. All right. It's a good one. Good one, boys. Good football. We'll see you all next episode. We kind of preview week 11 and go over the hopefully exciting Thursday night football game. Go Commanders, baby.
Yeah, I love you, boys.